19.3 points a game per 40 minutes of action. So when he's in the game, he's capable of bringing up a lot of points in a hurry. Now our starting lineups, and Scott Cummings will have the starting lineups for us.
Love it. Love it when you can pay rent.
But still, if I like 95% of it.
You can honestly probably keep it out at that point.
The Mosaic Whispers with our national anthem, and we're getting ready for the opening tip-off of the first game of the Lopata Classic. 34th annual edition. Jay Murray here with you. And we'll have starting laps now announced by Scott Cummings, our public address announcer. Webster will be clad in their navy blue uniforms with the white and gold trim, and Tufts will be in their home whites with the baby blue trim, and also a little bit of brown as well, as Tufts colors are brown and blue. So the starting lineups have been announced, and we'll go over those very quickly. For Tufts, they will have Thomas Lapham, Kenny Adigwe, Vincent Pace, Patrick Racy, and Eric Savage. For Webster University, they will have this following starting five: Josh Johnson, Enrique Tankins, Michael Dunn, Parker Van Nest, and Nigel Wilcox. For Tufts, Lapham's from Manhattan Beach, California. He's a 5'11 senior. Kenny Adigwe, a 5'11 senior from Lowell, Massachusetts. Vincent Pace is from Bridgewater, New Jersey, a 6'5 senior. Patrick Racy is from Richfield, Connecticut, a 6'7 sophomore. And Eric Savage is a 6'3 sophomore from South Brunswick, New Jersey. For Webster, a lot of youngsters. Josh Johnson's a sophomore from here in St. Louis. He's 6 foot. He's a guard. Enrique Tankins from Wentzville, Missouri, an outlier of the St. Louis metro area, a 6'3 sophomore. Michael Dunn from Tallahassee, Florida, a 6'2 senior. Also Parker Van Ness from here in St. Louis as well. He's a 5'11 senior. And Nigel Wilcox from Alpharetta, Georgia, is a 6'5 freshman. Those are the following starters. And again, thanks for joining us here on the WashU Sports Network. Jay Murray with you. At center circle, it's going to be for Tufts, It'll be Patrick Racy tipping it up against Nigel Wilcox. Thanks for joining us for the 34th Annual Lopata Classic here at Washington University in St. Louis. Opening tap won by Tufts and won by Racy, so it'll be across the timeline. Lapham will walk it across and begin Tufts' first possession of the 2017-18 season. Ball tipped away from Pace for the moment, but he retrieves it on right wing. Couple of dribbles. Now to Lapham. Lapham wheels to his right, finds Pace. He's being guarded in the man-to-man by Enrique Tankets. Pace, the dish inside on the baseline through the back door over the head of Racy and out of bounds, and that's the first turnover of the game and of the season for Tufts. Good play running the back door to Racy, but the pass over the head of Racy, and it'll be Webster now with its first possession of its season. And we'll see how the Gorlocks fare. Tufts opening up in the zone. It's like a 1-3-1 zone. And a right wing for Josh Johnson. This three is off the mark, and a rebound collected inside by Racy. He outlets quickly to Pace, and Pace brings it across. No score. Both teams empty on their first possession. Now on right wing, and Digway gets to the right elbow. Pass deflected by Parker Van Nest out of bounds. It'll be Tufts to inbound with 19 on the shot clock, and we're 54 seconds in to both teams' season as Tufts takes on Webster in the first round game of the Lopata Classic here. We have a doubleheader tonight. Washington takes on Webster, or actually Wabash later on, as Pace drives left baseline and kissed it off the glass, and then an aggressive drive and a nice finish for Pace, and he gets the first points of the game, and Tufts has a 2-0 lead. 18:50 to go, very early in the first half. Jay Murray here with you on the WashU Sports Network. Again, Johnson fakes the dish, drives instead, the ball off the back iron, and a rebound collected by Tufts, and again, it's Pace that has the rebound, stumbles, goes to the floor. May have been bumped from behind by Tankins. Enrique says, I just barely touched him, maybe if I did, but the officials will say that's a foul, and that's Tankins' first. Tankins averaging 3.2 points a game last year, and he's one of the holdovers from last year's squad. He has the foul, the shot inside by Savage, tipped away, and Webster has it. In transition, Van Ness can't drive baseline, cut off nicely by Lapham for the moment. Wilcox now, Tankins, Van Ness trying to spin against Lapham. Now finds an opening, short jumper is good. Parker Van Ness, an NABC Honors Court student athlete from last year. And a travel is called against Tufts. It'll be Webster basketball. So Tufts has turned the ball over twice now, very early in the first couple minutes of play. So Webster has its first basket from Parker Van Ness. He's a senior, so he's one of the three elder statesmen for the Webster Gorlocks. Out front, ball held between the circles. There's a foul underneath. And that will go back over to Tufts as the foul is going to be a sense against Wilcox, I believe. And that is the case, so Nigel gets his first foul. Webster 2 early fouls early in the first half. 17:55 to play. We're tied at 2 between Tufts, number 6 in the country in one poll, and Webster is unranked and very, very young. Left elbow jumper on the way. It's off the mark. It ricochets off, and that was a shot from Patrick Racy. Moving the ball across timeline will be Michael Dunn. Back out to Josh Johnson. Elevates with a baseline jumper. It's too long, and a rebound for Pace. And Tufts trying to run a little bit, but Webster's back quickly, so no transition opportunity. As the ball bounced from Savage back out to Pace. Nice crossover to his left. Fikes a pass, and the shot missed. Too strong off the right rim. Rebound. Racy had it. Able to dish now to Lapham. His jumper skips off the rim too long. And Josh Johnson controls the rebound. And Webster brings it across now for Dunn. Dunn, another senior. He's from Tallahassee. To Wilcox now on the left block. Tankins bumps shoulders with Lapham. Pull-up jumper left elbow too long. And the rebound collected by Pace. He outlets to Lapham, who now wants to sprint into the front court. Kick out now for Savage. Left wing three up and good. Eric Savage, the first tray for either team here in their first game of the season. That gives Tufts a 5-2 advantage. 16:39 to play in the first half. And if you're just joining us on the WashU Sports Network, Webster in the navy blue uniforms. Tufts in the white uniforms, baby blue trim. Driving nicely down the left lane, spinning and scoring his Tankins. He's from Wentzville Timberland High School. Again, Wentzville is on the outer edge of the westernmost edge of the St. Louis metro area. Pace to the right elbow, hesitation dribble, jumps, dishes in the lane. Racy collects it, almost got away from him. Now it's Savage. Strong drive to the hoop and count the basket as Eric Savage able to drive strong, kiss it off the glass, and he's rewarded with a free throw. Eric Savage now in the last couple possessions now has made his presence felt with 5 points. He'll try to make it 6 as Webster now tries to tie the game with a free throw early as Tufts leads 5-4. Van Ness will check out for a moment. Entering is Austin Nation for Webster along with Rodson Etienne. Etienne from West Palm Beach, Florida. Nation's from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Both are freshmen. To the 11 freshmen that Webster has on its roster to start the season. Savage is a free throw to finish a three-point play. It's long and a rebound collected by Michael Dunn. And as we mentioned, free throw shooting at times for Tufts was not all that great. They missed one, their first free throw of the evening, and we're tied at 5 as a result. Wilcox beyond the circle. A little uncomfortable from a three-point distance shot, so he goes instead to Etienne, who bobbled and eventually lost the ball, stolen away by Adigwe. His outlet to Lapham is chased down. Nice fill down the lane, and the layup is good by Racy. Racy filled the lane, and Lapham saw him coming and delivered a nice, easy pass for Racy, and Racy gets his first 2 points of the evening, and Tufts now has a 9-4 advantage over Webster. Etienne trying to post up inside against Pace. Pace a little bit taller. Nation, pull-up jumper inside the arc, raises the rim, retrieved by Adigwe. Long outlet to Savage, too long, but he saves it somehow. But stepping to get the steal now is Etienne, and now Webster has a 2-on-3 situation in the front court. Etienne stripped nicely by Adigwe, and now outlet pass from Latham now to Savage. He lays it up and in. Savage now with 7 early points. Great assist by Lapham. Thomas Lapham from Manhattan Beach, California. When the rebound comes off the glass, he gets the ball, and he's the distributor. He's able to feed it up to Eric Savage. Savage with a layup, and that necessitates a timeout for Chris Bunch, the head coach of Webster University. Tufts has a lead now of 11-4. It was 5-4 at one point in favor of Tufts. So Tufts has scored the last 6 points here in the first half of this stage. We have 15 minutes left in the first half, so we're 5 minutes into both teams' seasons. Tufts has a lead of 11-4. Jay Murray here with you, along with Daniel Tiska and Sarah Green. They're joining me for the first game of our first round action of the Lopata Classic. Coming up later tonight, Waukee will take on Wabash. It's a 7 p.m. start. So both teams, Tufts and Webster, very interesting. Vincent Pace, we talked about him, averaging 14 points a game last year. For Webster, Enrique Tankins, leading returning scorer, averaged 3.2 points a game last year, 3 rebounds. Michael Dunn averaging 3 points a game last year as well. Josh Johnson had 14 points against UMSL in the exhibition on 6 of 12 shooting. Rodson Etienne, who's in right now, had 9 points, led the team with 6 rebounds against UMSL. And Nigel Wilcox had 9 points as well against UMSL along the way in that game. So everybody is set as far as substitutions, and for Tufts entering the game is Luke Rogers. Luke's from Boxborough, Massachusetts, a 6'8" freshman, so he adds some heft inside. We'll see how he fares against Webster. Webster's down by 7. 11-4 is the score. Dunn on left wing. On the baseline. Spinning backwards, trying to get leverage on the baseline. Unsuccessful there. That's Justin Tarplin. And now Dunn with a jumper from the corner. Inside the arc, no good. And a rebound is by Savage, and that's stolen away as Nation stepped in the passing lane. Dunn now trying to take advantage. Can't for the moment. Etienne back out now. And a jumper on the way. Beyond the arc is good by Christian Crespo. He's from Royal Palm Beach, Florida, a 6'1" freshman guard. And Crespo now has given Webster new life. Meanwhile, Savage answers. He buries a 3 of his own. He has a second tray of the first half. He has 10 points, Savage does. And so just when Webster got a little close, Savage says not so fast and gives Tufts an arm's length lead now of 7 points. Tufts 14, Webster 7, 13:58 to play in the first half. Dunn on left wing. In the corner. That was a feed from Crespo. It got away for the moment, but retrieved by Tarplin, who takes top of the arc 3, and it rattles in. The bank is open. And taking advantage of it was Tarplin, and Justin now has his first 3 points from Detroit, Michigan. He's a 6'4 freshman guard. Webster down by 4. Now it's Pace with the 3. It's off the mark. Rogers tried to get the rebound, couldn't. Tapped away by Etienne and retrieved by Nation. Savage trying to put on the brakes to avoid a foul as he was trying to get the ball away from Nation. Left wing now for Dunn. Between the legs dribbled, getting a screen. Dribbles to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper is good. Michael Dunn getting into the act now. He has 2 points, and Webster's battled back to within 2 now at 14-12. They were down at 1 point, 11-4. But Webster's down a nice run, but the distance Savage will erase that a little bit. Savage down the lane, went to his left hand and scores. Savage has 12 first-half points, and we're in the first 8 minutes of the ball game. So Eric Savage with the basket. And Tufts now has a lead of 16-12. And a pass out front beyond Nation's reach. He was heading back toward the top of the arc. And the feed from Tarplin. Justin thought that Nation was going to stay put on the wing. So a turnover for Webster. Will give the ball to Tufts. Checking in now for Webster is Marvin Santolian from North Miami, Florida. Wearing the goggles and wearing number 22. As Dunn will exit. So Tufts will inbound to the near side. And doing the honors will be Luke Rogers. Savage trying to avoid a double-team trap at midcourt as Webster now in a 1-3-1 zone. No-look feed, a beautiful feed, and the shot is missed inside, but a free throw opportunity for Will Brady, who's just checked in. Brady's from Ridgefield, Connecticut. Great no-look feed to him, and as a result, it'll be Brady at the free throw line. Fouls on Crespo, his first. And with 12:34 left in the first half, Tufts trying to add to a 4-point lead, but Brady misses his first free throw. So again, last year, Tufts averaged 67% from the free throw line. And again, part of the problems Tufts had was at times they sputtered from the charity stripe. That second free throw is good, so Brady is in the scorebook now with his first point. So Brady, again, a freshman, giving Tufts a 5-point lead at 17-12. Webster was down 11-7, closed it to 14-12 at one stage. But again, now down by 5. Handling the ball, Santolian, and tried to cross over to his right and lost it out of bounds. A turnover for Webster will give the ball back to Tufts. Pace is back in, along with Racy for Tufts. Also in for the first time, Justin Koyumjin. Koyumjin is a junior, actually a freshman, check that, from La Cañada, California. So Koyumjin in. He's 6'1", and so we'll see if, as a guard, will he try to post up a smaller player? We'll find out. Koyumjin got the pass, a little behind him. He's got good hands. Cross-court feed. On the baseline, Miles Bowser also in, and Miles is called for the walk as he carried the ball lit. So Miles tried to cross over to get some space for a jumper perhaps, and carried it, and so it's a third turnover for Tufts. I believe both teams now have 3 turnovers so far in the first half. Right elbow jumper is up and good from Crespo. Crespo's come off the bench and performed well. He has a couple of baskets and 5 points overall. And Webster's within 3 now at 17-14. Pace floats a pass. Pace gets a return feed, and his 3 is off the mark, off the feed from Brady. Whistle inside, and we may have a foul against Tufts. And we'll see who that's on. It might be against Racy. We'll see. Patrick Racy has his first foul. And so it'll be Webster with the basketball. So a couple of keys to the game. Well, for Webster, they're just going to try to figure out how these freshmen are weaved together, as that shot missed by Tarplin, and a rebound pulled down by Tufts. And Bowser now down the lane, slips past the defender, but left it too long. But Racy there, he can't convert the bunny. And a rebound pulled down instead by Santolian of Webster. Crossover dribble by Etienne, lost the handle, but there may be a blocking foul by one of the Tufts jumbos along the way. And the foul's on Koyumjin, and that'll be his first foul. Kouyumjian spells his last name Kouyoumdjian. In case you're wondering as you're watching here. Certainly perhaps the longest name in the Lopata Classic here this year, as a jumper off the inbounds is knocked down by Elijah Macias from San Antonio, Texas. Another freshman for Webster contributing off the bench. 17-16, Tufts has a 1-point lead. Trying to change that is Brady, but his shot too long. And the rebound inside for Santoli, and he tries to spread it out. The crossover, the pull-up jumper on the way, and up and good by Crespo once again. And Webster now has its first lead of 18-17. Down 11-4 at 1 point early in the first half. Webster has its first lead now against the number 6 team in the country. Kouyumjian, though, buries a three and says, I'll put a stop to that. Justin Kouyumjian with his first three. His first points as a Tufts jumbo. Congratulations to Justin. And also a steal by Kouyumjian now at midcourt. 1-on-2. Bowser got their feed, and that's too far for Pace to grab. And a turnover in transition for Tufts, and that'll make Bob Sheldon wince a little bit. A chance to have numbers and get a transition basket when that fizzles. Maybe a little heartburn by head coaches when they see that happen. But he's very encouraging as Miles Bowser comes off the floor to get a breather. So with 10:08 to go, we're close to the midway point of the first half. And Tufts leads by 2 at 20-18. So again, 18-17 was the first Webster lead. Tufts now has regained it by 2 points. Driving left baseline, trapped for the moment, was Tankins. Back out, and Macias will set it up here for Webster. Tankins will hand to Crespo. They've gotten away with a shuffle there. Ball knocked free by Lapham. But getting it back is Crespo off balance, and he's trying to draw the foul. He was successful. It was a tough shot. Had to extend the basketball out toward his body and then try to flip it off the glass and in. And as a result, that had a low probability of going in, but Macias draws a foul. It's actually as Crespo drawing the foul, and the foul will be against Patrick Racy, his second. Crespo's first free throw good. So Christian Crespo has 8 points off the bench. So Chris Bunch, again, he says this is the most fun he's had to begin a season since his first year at Webster, mainly because it's going to be a lot of fun trying to find out all these new players, their strengths and weaknesses, and how they fit together. Crespo looks like it could be at least a very good scorer off the bench. He has 9 points off the bench, and we're tied at 20 as a result between Tufts and Webster. The runner in the lane by Pace is too strong, but he gets his own rebound, leans in. That one's too strong, and then finally the third attempt rolls around and falls in. And so Vincent Pace, very persistent there. He's able to get a basket finally after 3 attempts. So Tufts up by 2 now again at 22-20. But Webster's been very tenacious. They're not letting the number 6 jumbos intimidate them, or at least the ranking intimidate them, as Tankins drives left lane. That one's a little bit wild off the glass. Rogers with a rebound. Now Tufts in transition, 3-on-3. Webster gets back defensively. Kouyumjian now in the corner for Pace. A deep three is too long on the line drive shot, and rebound by Wilcox for Webster. Josh Johnson pushes now at 3/4 speed, trying to cross over past the screen, and he's tied up by Kouyumjian. Jump ball, and the arrow will point over to Webster. But Justin Kouyumjian, another freshman, freshmen for both teams are having a good start to their first game as collegians. Kouyumjian has an early three, and that time forces a jump ball, and the arrow going to Webster. Also for Webster, Crespo, a freshman with 9 early points off the bench. Several other freshmen doing well. Josh Johnson trying to get in the bench. He's a sophomore. Leading scorer against UMSL in their exhibition earlier before the season began tonight. Blake Farrell in now. He's from Baldwin, Missouri. Had the ball momentarily. Now it's Johnson trying to cross over in both directions. Tankins pull-up jumper with 3 on the shot clock. Rattles out. Rebound Lapham. Looking for an opportunity to transition. Kouyumjian, right wing 3 on the way, is up and long. And a rebound pulled down by Wilcox. 8:17 to play in the first half. Entertaining ball game. Number 6 Tufts leads only by 2 against a very young team. Webster University has 11 freshmen on the squad. Johnson, a sophomore, can't do business against Kouyumjian for the moment. Farrell, Macias, top of the arc for Wilcox. Can he do some business against Rogers? Leans, drives. The baby hook is no good, but a foul inside that might go against Rogers. Luke did his best to keep Wilcox under control, but Nigel, good nimble feet inside and drew a foul on Rogers. And for Tufts, that'll be the 4th foul of the half. Webster also has 4. On the inbound, Wilcox back out now to Tankins. Tankins tried to drive, cut off on a double team at the free throw line. Farrell now to Macias. Elijah says, I can't work with it there. I got to go back out and reload with Farrell. 8 on the shot clock. Johnson yo-yos, left baseline drive, bobbled away, tipped away. 2 on the shot clock. That one's well short of the rim. Hit the backboard, and now Savage outlets. Right corner 3 for Pace. In and out, no good. Savage tips the rebound, or got the rebound tipped to him by Rogers. And now leaning in, Pace can't finish. Ball fought for underneath the basket and finally collected by Josh Johnson of Webster. I'll say this for the Gorlocks. Again, they're not intimidated by Tufts' reputation, past performance, and their national ranking. Webster only down by 2, can take the lead with a 3 here. 7:06 to play first half. Pull-up jumper from inside the arc. Farrell rattles out. Rebound Lapham. Again, Lapham trying to sprint away from Tankins. No-look bounce pass. Koyumjan trying to finish. May have been bumped by Farrell, but no foul, and a rebound collected by Tankins. Tough break there for Tufts. Looked like there might have been some contact, but the official says play on, boys. Macias now turnaround 3 on the way. That's long and wild, and tipped by Wilcox now. Johnson wants a 3. It's long. Long rebound back to Macias. Pump fakes a shot from beyond the free throw line and decided, well, let's set up the offense. Tankins now has an opening. Back to Macias. His 3 on the way, but before the 3 was made, the 3 is erased from the whiteboard after a foul is called on one of the Webster Gorlocks, and that will be against, this is going to be Tankins' second foul. So tough break there. Macias had what looked to be a go-ahead 3 for Webster, but a foul inside during the shot sequence, and as a result, Tankins call for the foul, no basket. And Tufts now has a 22-20 lead intact again for the moment. So let's see if the Jumbos can take advantage of that little swing. As 3 points taken off for Webster because of a foul on the shot. And diving in to try to reach the ball and take the ball away from Savage, and committing the foul is Blake Farrell. So Farrell got caught in traffic in the lane trying to keep up and lunged to try to get the ball away from Lapham, and Farrell's call for the foul. So Webster now has 16 fouls. One more will put Tufts in the bonus. Lapham looking to inbound. Savage in the near corner. The ball rotated out of Lapham. Skip pass in the corner. Corner 3 near side for Savage is good. And Eric Savage has 3 trays in the first half for Tufts. He has 15 points already. 15 of the 25 points that Tufts scored. Back in the game, Parker Van Ness says, well, I'll answer that with a deuce inside in the paint. He has 4 points. So it's a 25-20 lead, now 25-22. The shot that was quickly launched and missed by Brennan Morris. He's from East Hampstead, New Hampshire, a freshman guard. So now it's a 3-point lead for Tufts. Webster can tie with a 3. Instead, shot beyond the free throw line is missed by Dunn and retrieved by Rogers. Tufts brings it across, going from right to left. Savage, baseline feed for Adigwe. Savage is feeling it. Left wing 3 is up and good. It rattles home, and Eric Savage says, give me the ball anywhere on the court. I can launch. And he's got missile lock from the perimeter here in the first half. He has 18 points, 4 trays. And just like that, Tufts has gained a 6-point lead back at 28-22. So a damaging foul on a 3-point basket made by Webster was erased, and Tufts made Webster pay for it. Now Johnson beyond the arc. It nestles in nicely. Josh Johnson with his first 3 points, and that cuts the Tufts lead back down to 3 at 28-25. 4:57 left in the first half. Lapham penetrates to the left elbow. Can't finish the drive. Instead, Adigwe crossover to his left, draws a double team. Lapham beyond the corner, beyond the arc. Now it's inside the arc. The shot missed. Parker Van Ness with a rebound for Webster. To Farrell. Back out for Johnson. Pump fake, spins in the lane. Dishes baseline for Wilcox. It's jumper on the way good from about 12 feet. Nigel Wilcox, a good dish to him, and he finishes with his first 2 points. Adigwe quickly back for Tufts. Driving left baseline, he was fouled, perhaps by Wilcox. As Tufts now showing the ability to try to surprise Webster with some speed up the floor, and Wilcox trailed the play a little too far, and he's called for the foul from behind, and Nigel has 2 fouls to worry about. And also Webster has its 7th team foul, so it's a 1-and-1 opportunity for Kenny Adigwe. His first free throw is good. Kenny Adigwe from Lowell, Massachusetts. He's a 5'11 senior. As he gets the first free throw on this sequence made, and so Adigwe with his first point of the afternoon and evening. And for Tufts, Luke Rogers out, and Max Oppenheim is in. He's from Potomac, Maryland. He's a 6'8 freshman, so Tufts has a couple of 6'8 players that they can throw inside. Adigwe with his second free throw, so Kenny Adigwe now with 2 free throws, 2 points for him. And the Tufts lead is back to 3 at 30-27. Johnson in the near corner. Peers over his right shoulder. Nobody open for the moment. As Tufts now man-to-man, or maybe a matchup zone. Now they're playing man now as Johnson hesitates off the dribble. Van Ness, nice quick feed inside to Etienne, but he couldn't finish the post up inside. Savage now dishes to Adigwe, and Adigwe's call for the offensive foul is drawing the charge as Parker Van Ness. So Kenny Adigwe, a little out of control. He's from Lowell, Massachusetts. And barrels into Van Ness, who did a great job of anchoring his feet. No doubt about that call. And so with that, Webster will get a chance to tie the game as the Gorlocks trail 30-27 with 3:48 left in the first half. So not sure if you want to issue an upset alert just yet, but the very young Webster Gorlocks hanging right with number 6 Tufts. Etienne high off the glass, won't go too long, and Savage with the rebound and trying to get the rebound and couldn't. Michael Dunn is called for the foul. That's his first. So here's where Webster is compounding the problem here, and Chris Bunch is probably telling his players, hey, there's no need to compound. If you don't get the rebound, don't make it worse by committing a foul and letting Tufts walk back to the other end to shoot free throws. Webster's worked very hard to keep this game close, so Coach Bunch does not want to let this narrow margin get ballooned late in the first half. First end of the 1-and-1. The front end is no good for Savage, and a rebound collected by Johnson. So the only negative for Savage so far in the first half has been he's 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but he has 18 first half points to lead both teams. Dunn on the right baseline. And he's trapped there and is forced to shuffle his feet as Eric Savage talked about his offense. Eric did a great job defensively there to force the shuffle. And Webster turns the ball over back to Tufts. So Lapham brings it across. We'll go over some stats here in a few moments while we have an opportunity, or the next opportunity that we have. Meanwhile, ball taken away by Johnson. And Johnson getting past Lapham, oohs and ahs there as he dishes inside, but the dish behind Etienne, who's now tangled up, ball lost out of bounds, touched last by Adigwe. And so after all that, Webster fortunate to have the ball to inbound. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Tufts leads Webster 30-27. Tufts ranked in 2 polls. The highest ranking number 6. Van Ness pump fakes. Etienne drives down the lane, and the ball was swatted away. But Savage may have got Etienne with the body. The Webster Gorlocks clapping their hands. They're starting to feel more confidence. They're starting to think, yeah, we can hang with Tufts. The foul is going to be against Max Oppenheim, who just checked in a while back from Potomac, Maryland. And the free throw for Etienne rolls off, no good. So neither team. Well, Webster now 2 for 3 from the free throw line. So let's see how Rodson does here. And that free throw rattles out as well. Rebound collected by Pace. So Tufts now maintains a 3-point lead and adds to it as a dagger launched and made. Finding the mark is Pace from 3-point range. It's Vincent's first tray of the evening. He now has 7 points, and a turnover by Webster as Crespo thought he had a player out near the hash mark, but the intended recipient of the pass, Johnson, was further down on the wing. And Webster turns it over, so Tufts now with the golden opportunity to stretch this lead now, which has now grown to 6. The lead was doubled to 6 after a Pace 3. Will he get another chance to launch here? Instead, he drives down the lane. The runner is up and good. Vincent Pace now with 9 points, and he has picked up his pace, pardon the pun, and scoring here. He's got a couple of baskets as of late. And Tufts now has an 8-point lead at 35-27. So Webster had a brief lead. In the last couple possessions, the Tufts Jumbo showing why they're number 6 in the country, keeping their poise and getting a couple of positive possessions to pull an 8-point lead. And that shot missed and, in fact, was blocked on a shot by Crespo. Savage to Lapham. He'll have a left wing three. It splashes home. Thomas Lapham with his first three, and all of a sudden Tufts now has opened up an 11-point lead. Doesn't take the Jumbos long. Tufts last year averaged 83-plus points per game, so they can light up the scoreboard in a hurry. Johnson wants a left wing three for Webster. It finds the bottom of the well. Johnson now with 2 trays and 6 points here. The action heating up on both ends of the floor offensively. 1:33 left in the first half. Tufts leads 38-30. Top of the arc three. That one's missed by Pace. Rebound by Etienne, is able to save it for Dunn for Webster. Gorlock's bringing it across now. Etienne, Van Ness pump fakes, drives against the taller player. Oppenheim, but lays it in. Actually, he's able to get it crawled in. A fadeaway jumper by Van Ness. He now has 6 points and a timeout call with 1:16 to play in the first half. And Tufts has a 6-point lead at 38-32. So as we get a break here with 1:16 to play, a quick update on some of the team stats. They are as follows. Webster has an edge shooting 46% to Tufts 44%, the slight edge. Webster 4 for 7 from three-point range, 57%. Tufts 7 of 15, 47%, but Tufts has 3 more made trays so far. Free throws about even, both teams shooting 50%. Webster 2 out of 4, Tufts 3 for 6. Rebound a slight edge to Tufts, 19 rebounds to Webster 7. And the turnovers are even as well, 9 turnovers aside. So those are a quick look at some of the stats here as we get to the final portion, final moments here of the first half. 1:06 to play. Oh, the ball didn't go across the center stripe there as Morris almost took it beyond midcourt. Meanwhile, the three by Savage is off the mark short. Johnson outlets now after the rebound. Santolian dishes to Etienne. He jams it home. Etienne on a textbook fast break transition basket. Well, there's going to be an offensive foul. Let's not get too excited here because Etienne may be always called for technical foul. So I think the basket will count, and it will. And Webster, who had a jam, and maybe either something was said by Etienne or perhaps he hung on the rim too long. In any event, a technical foul has been called. And Rodson saying, man, didn't mean to hang on the rim. I didn't think I did, but in the excitement of getting a jam toward the end of the first half, the cut Tufts lead down to 4 for the moment. But a technical foul has been called as well. And for Etienne, technical fouls count as personal fouls, so that's his first. And meanwhile, the front end of the technical free throw is good. The sequence by Pace, and he has 10 points. Second free throw is good as well. So Pace now with 11 points. So instead of Webster being within 4, now the lead is back to 6 at 40-34 for Tufts. And on the inbounds, Oppenheim will give it over to Morris. Morris brings it across. 43 seconds left in the first half, and as Morris yo-yoing on the perimeter, there's contact inside. And the foul might be on Dunn. That's his second. And Webster now has committed 10-plus fouls, so it's a 2-shot double bonus for Eric Savage. He can get to 20 points on 2 free throws here. First one is good. Eric Savage with a tremendous first half. He has 19 first-half points. 4 trays in the first half as well as Morris checks out. The Digway back in for Tufts, as the Jumbos have the lead now stretched back to 7. 41-34, another free throw for Savage to make it 20 points for him so far, and it's up and good. Eric Savage with 20 first-half points, and he has given Tufts a big lift here at 42-34. The lead by the Jumbos is 8. 36 seconds to play in the first half. Differential of game clock and shot clock of 10 seconds. Etienne now with 30 seconds to play. Over in the right corner, Johnson can't trigger a shot. Gets a screen from Etienne. Pull-up jumper right elbow is off the mark. Rebound for Savage. 4-on-3, now 4-on-4 as Tufts try to come out quickly. To the baseline, Morris, and he's called for an offensive foul as Johnson got to the baseline just in time, set his feet, and drew the charge. So Morris gets called for his first foul. That'll be the 17th foul. So with 16.8 seconds remaining, Webster not shooting free throws there. The shot clock is off. And it will be 13 seconds of play for Webster in the first half, down by 8. Fadeaway jumper left lane is off the rim short. Pace a quick outlet to Adigwe with 5, with 4, with 3. Adigwe layup good. 4 points by Adigwe. The last second shot is well short. So there's where the youth of Webster didn't serve it very well, because on that shot by Crespo, he shot it with too much time on the clock. And Crespo missed the shot, giving Tufts a chance to get some transition, and in the last second shot, as Adigwe was able to sprint down the floor with 5 seconds to play and laid it up and in. So we've reached the end of the first half, and Tufts has a 10-point lead now at 44-34. So that is the halftime score. Tufts 44, Webster 34. Jay Murray with you here on the WashU Sports Network. The first game. Jay Murray back with you here on the WashU Sports Network, getting ready to start the second half. We're about 4.5 minutes away from that as Tufts University leads Webster 44-34. Tufts number 6 in the country, according to one poll, the D3Hoops.com poll, and they're also ranked 22nd, the Jumbos are, in the D3 News Top 25 poll. Webster unranked. They were 14-12 last year, but if you saw Webster last year, you wouldn't know them this year because they have 11 freshmen on the squad. But by and large, the freshmen are doing pretty well. And one of the keys for Webster, and this is what Coach Bunch talked to me about last night after the Lopata Classic banquet, was he says, you know what's going to be good about these freshmen is that they don't really realize how good Tufts is. They've probably not even heard of Tufts University, or maybe not even, they know about WashU because, WashU has been, in St. Louis, and so they probably know a little bit about WashU. But some of these freshmen, and maybe they don't know about WashU because as they look at over the roster, you've got guys from all over the country outside the St. Louis area. For example, Elijah Macias from San Antonio, Texas, Christian Crespo from Royal Palm Beach, Florida. So from various parts of the country, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, is Austin Nation. So he said maybe our freshmen don't know a lot about WashU and their tradition of success. They don't know about Tufts University. They don't know about Wabash College. So perhaps that might work in our favor. And throughout much of the first half it did, because Webster hung tough. They actually had a lead over Tufts at 18-17 earlier in the first half. The game was tied at 20 at one point. And Webster was in arm's length for most of the first half until, say, the final 2 or 3 minutes of the first half. Then Tufts started to inch its lead out to where it is now at 10 at 44-34. In fact, this is the largest lead that Tufts has had at 44-34, I believe, if I double-check my... Actually, Tufts had a 11-point lead at 38-27, so that was the biggest lead in the first half, and the Jumbos have a 10-point lead here at halftime. So that was one of the keys for Webster. For Tufts University, some of the keys the Jumbo's trying to find who's going to fill the shoes of Tariq Smith, who graduated after scoring 12.8 points a game. He had 3 rebounds a game, led the team with 3.5 assists per game. He had 36 trays, and he also shot 91 free throws. That actually made 91 free throws. That was a team high as well last year for Tufts. So that was one of the keys. Who's going to fill those shoes? Well, it looks like maybe, for tonight anyway, Eric Savage had 20 first-half points. And so maybe it might be a committee situation where one person gets the baton one night and one gets the baton the other night to try to fill those shoes of Tariq Smith. So far, so good in that category for Tufts. Also, Tufts, they want to improve their overall free throw shooting at 67% from last year, and so far 7 of 10 are the Jumbos. Because last year in 4 of the Tufts 7 losses, they shot under 62% from the free throw line. And Tufts also wants to reduce personal fouls. They averaged in the last 4 games of last season 21.8 fouls per game, and Tufts was 2-2 in those 4 games in which they had over 21 fouls per game. So those are some of the things the Jumbos want to address. And so far, so good for the Jumbos, having a 10-point lead. But Webster, again, can feel good about how they performed in the first half, shooting a respectable 45% overall and 4 for 7 from three-point range. The rebound totals in Tufts' favor, but not by much. 21-18 is the overall rebounding edge, and Tufts has an edge of 5-2 on the offensive glass as well. 11 assists for Tufts, 7 for Webster. Turnovers, Tufts had 10 turnovers, and Webster had 9. So those are some of the other stats of note as we get ready to start the second half. Now, if you're wondering about the nicknames of many of the teams in the tournament, WashU has the Bears, but the other 3 have unique nicknames. Wabash College are known as the Little Giants. We'll see them against WashU in the second game of our doubleheader a little bit later on tonight. Webster, known as the Gorlocks. If you're not knowing, you don't know what a Gorlock is, well, the nickname comes from combining the 2 streets that border Webster University, Gore and Lockwood. So when they wanted to find a name, a nickname for their athletic programs, and somebody came up with a unique combination of those streets, so you meld them together and become a Gorlock. And so that's how Webster became known as the Gorlocks, because Gore and Lockwood streets border Webster University here in St. Louis. On the other side, Tufts University, known as the Jumbos, and their mascot is an elephant, and that's because P.T. Barnum was a big benefactor to Tufts University. In fact, one of the largest elephants known to mankind in human history, in the history of elephants. Jumbo was his name, and after Jumbo passed away, they took Jumbo to the taxidermist and stuffed him, and he was wheeled out as the mascot for Tufts University athletic contests. And unfortunately, I believe the story had it last night that was passed around that where Jumbo's stuffed likeness was stored, there was a fire, and, Jumbo was reduced to ashes, unfortunately. That's how Tufts became the Jumbos, because Jumbo was one of the largest elephants on record. P.T. Barnum was a benefactor of Tufts University, the noted circus creator and entrepreneur deluxe. So those are the ways in which these 2 teams have come up with their nicknames. Lapham comes up with a left wing 3 to start the second half, and that's Thomas's second tray of the evening. So he had a tray in the first half. He starts the second half with a 3, and Tufts now has a 13-point lead. Now it's biggest of the game at 47-34. Now a turnover by Webster out front. Pace got the steal to Savage. Adigwe. Lapham had an open 3. Passes now to Savage. Lapham now catches in open space. The 3 is launched and missed. And Michael Dunn with the rebound, stepping over his teammate Josh Johnson in the process. Dunn on right wing. 2-hand scoop back to Johnson. Johnson had 2 trays with 6 points. For Webster, he's a talented freshman. Let's see if he can help Webster climb back, being down 13 now, early in the second half. Parker Van Nest, the elder statesman, on the floor now to Wilcox. His 3 up and good. Nigel Wilcox had to put all of his body into that 3, but he's able to make it top of the arc. He now has 5 points. Left wing 3 down to answer, and it's Savage. And one thing that Tufts has done very well, they've answered Webster's 3s for the most part. Savage answers a 3 from Webster just before he sank his 5th tray of the evening. He has 23 points, Savage does. And so the lead is still 13 for Webster. As the ball out of bounds, and Webster maintains possession in front of its own bench. Michael Dunn will inbound. Head coach Chris Bunch giving instructions that he stands next to Dunn on the inbounds pass. Now Johnson has it. Tankins, the lob. Posting up is Wilcox. This is actually Dunn. Now Tankins with a baseline jumper. It's good from about 10 feet away. Enrique Tankins now with 4 points. Johnson tried to creep back for a steal for Webster, but Vincent Pace was wise to that along with Patrick Race, so they avoid a turnover. Well, I thought they did when they get a turnover forced by Webster. Tankins with the steal. Johnson back to Wilcox. Nigel doesn't want to press his luck from beyond the arc, so he laid that one off to Johnson. Now Van Ness try to feed on the baseline. Nobody was open. Long right wing three for Tankins, splashes home. Tankins finds the bottom of the net. Enrique Tankins now with 7 points. He's got a 5-point explosion to start the second half. And Webster's cut the lead of Tufts down to 8 at 50-42. So the Gorlocks aren't going away. They're not going to be intimidated by the Jumbos of Tufts University despite Tufts' national ranking. Head and shoulder fake, great job there by Savage. And then Savage, instead of shooting, dished over to Digway, but in the process, Savage barrels in to a Webster player and is called for the offensive foul. So Savage picks up his first foul. Savage claimed that Webster player was leaning backward as he drove into the basket, but the referees do not agree. And Johnson drew the charge, and he may come out for a moment. Let's see. Nope. Well, let's see. Don't know if he got a little bloody nose after all that. He's still wincing in pain as that was a heavy collision. He's talking with a Digway, and it's a very civil, pleasant conversation. That's what the Lopata Classic is all about. Not only is it great competition on the floor, but head coach Mark Edwards and the Lopatas, they all encouraged throughout these 34 years of the Lopata Classic to have good fellowship along with good competition. Van Ness, pull-up jumper beyond the free throw line off the left side of the rim, and it's collected by Pace with quick pace. The ball in the front court where Vincent Pace, the top of the arc three, it rattles off, a little bit short. Rebound, Wilcox for Webster. Dunn, crossover to his right. Right lane drive cut off at the last minute by Savage. A return feed to Johnson down the lane off his feet and out of bounds. Not a good pass. And Webster's called for a turnover as a result. So we're about 3.5 minutes into the second half. And Tufts has an 8-point lead of 50-42. Tufts had a 13-point lead, but a 5-point outburst by Webster's kept the game fairly close. And now, ball knocked out of Pace's hands by Wilcox. So Tufts fortunate to maintain possession, as that was kind of a ragged sequence there for the Jumbos. But Lapham inbounds. On the blocks, Racy squares, shoots, too long. Rebound, Wilcox for Webster. See if the Gorlocks can chip away now against the number 6 Jumbos. 3.5 minutes into the second half, down by 8. Oh, it's slipping, but nice job by Johnson to maintain the dribble. He was slipping. He could have been called for the walk, but he kept his dribble alive while he fell to his backside. Calmly got back up, as if to say, no problem. He has the ball right now as Wilcox now try to trigger a three. Stopped there, but he goes to the free throw line extended, and the shot missed as it rattled out too strong. Savage with the rebound. Savage fans down on the dribble to the right wing from the corner. Out left wing, a pump fake by Pace, and he threw it away as coming back nicely as Tankins to get the steal. So Tankins gets the steal. Let's see if he can convert this. No, he gives it right back as Van Ness was charging to the basket. And Tankins trying to get a highlight reel layup there, threw it behind Van Ness and out of bounds for a turnover. So things like that, little instances like that where Webster doesn't take advantage of numbers. Head coach Chris Bunch will be in film session pointing out to the freshmen that, you know what, little things here and there add up to big things. And little opportunities that weren't cashed in have resulted in Webster being down by 8 points. Gorlocks, to their credit, were within arm's length, within a possession or two throughout the first half, except for the very end. But Webster now within a couple of possessions, actually within 3 possessions, 50-42. And there's a little bit of sweat on the floor, so the officials have the good housekeeping seal on them as well as being qualified officials, so that's mopped up. And we're back to action. Johnson trying to sneak back for a steal opportunity, and he'll try to pick up Lapham in the backcourt. Lapham keeping his poise, spins to his right, brings the ball across. Now Webster settling. Looks like a matchup zone here as 2-3. Dish inside. Racy too strong off the front rim. And Lapham tried to get the rebound, couldn't. Miles Bowser in the game, tried to slap it and save it out front. And it was deflected by Webster at the scorer's table, so it'll be Tufts to inbound. 15:29 left in the second half. This is the first game of 2 in first round play of the 34th annual Lopata Classic. Jay Murray here with you at Washington University in St. Louis, joined by Sarah Green and Daniel Tiska. In the right corner, Savage. Lapham. Pace. Race trying to post up on Wilcox. Fadeaway jumper left well short off the bottom of the rim. Johnson collects the rebound, waits for traffic clear, then brings it across. Webster going from right to left, and the steal by Bowser at midcourt. Drives in, scooping layup is good. Miles Bowser with his first 2 points. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. The sophomore guard was lying in wait, got the steal. Came out of the grass to steal that, and a finger roll layup later. Tufts has a 10-point lead at 52-42. 14:45 left in the second half. Tankins, a flat-footed jumper from the baseline, won't go. Johnson outfights Bowser for the rebound. So the Gorloks maintain possession. The second bite of the apple. And a blocking foul is called as Tankins drove baseline, barrels into Lapham, and Lapham's called for the foul. So Thomas has picked up his first foul. He has 6 points. He's one of the captains on Tufts squad, and also Ben Engvall is a captain, along with Everett Dayton and Vincent Pace. Parker Van Ness will check out of the ball game for the moment. Austin Nation returns for Webster. He's from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. One of the 11 freshmen for the Webster Gorloks. Austin has not scored as of yet. We'll see if that changes. Rodson Etienne, another freshman who did have 2 points in the first half, is checked in as well. Crespo also in, so Christian Crespo, who had a very good showing in the first half off the bench with 9 points. 52-42, Webster down by 10. Let's see if the new ingredients provide a better tasting result. Etienne drove to the rock and from the wing, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Tufts, and Lapham now will give it to Savage. Thought about the three, passed it up, skip pass for Pace. He also pump fakes the three with a head and shoulder. Lapham inside the free throw line, trapped at the last moment by Crespo. Bowser to Savage, now three on the way. It's off the front of the rim by Pace. Good ball movement, but no result there, or at least not a good result for Tufts. But the Jumbo still lead by 10. Nation to give back off the glass is good. Tankins looking like Jamal Wilkes of the old LA Lakers there, using the glass to great advantage. Tankins now with 9 points. He has 7 points in the second half. The lead for Tufts is 8. 52-44. Tufts 22-7 last year. Got to the Sweet 16, lost to eventual national champion Babson. As Bowser, his three no good, but he fouls his long rebound. Dish to the free throw line underneath. The Savage layup is good. Savage wanted a three-point play. I think I would agree with him there, but the foul not given. But Savage still tough enough to get a basket underneath. He now has 25 points. 54-44. Tufts has regained a 10-point lead. Webster now, you get the sense of every possession now becoming more and more critical as the clock winds down, as Tankins is fouled out front of the drive. 13:04 left. If you're Webster, you want to stay within a couple of possessions at the 10-minute mark to go and then work from there. Right now the lead is 10 for Tufts, and Webster's trying to make a dent in it. The Jumbos, for the moment, not letting them. So on the inbound, Johnson lobs and a steal, and Pace gets the steal. He tipped it, then gets it. Kick out now for Koyumjin. The three on the way up and off, no good. It rattled out. Rebound. Pace is able to put it in, and is it going to count or is it going to be an offensive foul? It's going to be an offensive foul, I believe, on Racy. That's his third, so no basket. Patrick Racy with his third foul. Let's see if that will give Webster a chance to light a spark here. As entering the match now, Luke Rogers. He will replace Racy with 3 fouls. Racy to the end of the bench, not happy with how things have gone. He'll get a chance to discuss it with one of the coaches. Meanwhile, Webster trying to cut this lead of 10 of Tufts down to single digits. Jumper on the way short, and that was a jumper by Justin Tarplin, who had a 3 in the first half, but came up short there. Savage finding an open Rogers, easy layup inside, and that time the Webster defense falling asleep, and Rogers able to get a basket. And the lead for Tufts now at 56-44. Crespo in trouble. Koyumjin with good defense. The feed underneath, reverse layup is good, and count it. We'll take a replay on that, as we'll save that, and we'll take a look at Rodson Etienne as we have that basket in one situation. So Etienne, well, let's see if we got a replay on that. Etienne now will have a free throw coming as so Etienne was able to get the ball underneath, get the basket, and free throw is off the mark, no good. So Etienne now with a nice move, couldn't finish off the three-point play, gets a basket. Now Savage weaving through traffic. Jumper inside from 8 feet, no good, a little too long. Could have used glass and didn't. And as a result, a missed shot and a rebound for Tankins. Crespo. Etienne. Right wing now. And back out is Tarplin. Crespo, underhand scooping feed to Etienne. Can't do anything with that. A long right wing three for Nation. Rims in and out. Etienne fighting the taller player for the rebound. And the basket there. We'll take a replay on that, as Etienne doing work inside. And we'll have that for you perhaps in just a moment here as play continues. Koyumjin. And we'll back it out. Let's go ahead and run that replay while Tufts has the ball, as Etienne able to outfight the taller Rogers to get the basket. As we're back now, old Morris got caught in midair, but dish instead at the last moment to Rogers, and Rogers able to convert inside. Morris caught in midair at the last possible moment before his feet touched the ground. He's able to feed the ball to Rogers, and Rogers now with his second basket. So Tufts maintains a 10-point lead. Long three for Tankins is short. Rebound. Koyumjin fighting with Tankins for the rebound, and Koyumjin comes up with it. Sprints down the lane. Shot missed, but a foul. And Tankins is calling for the foul, and Koyumjin will slide and see if we can get that one, as Koyumjin now will go to the free throw line. With instant replay, we're transitioning to a different sport. It's much faster, obviously, basketball as compared to football and soccer, so we're still trying to find our rhythm, and we found it right here. Koyumjin, great anticipation there, getting the steal. He's got great quickness, and he's able to get the steal. He is fouled en route to the basket. So great job by Sarah Green to capture that for us, as, again, we're trying to get used to the quicker tempo of basketball to use our instant replay. And the free throw is good for Koyumjin, who now has 5 points. Or actually 4 points. Check that with a free throw. So Tufts now leads by 11, 59-48. And Webster's had chances to try to whittle that down a little bit, but Tufts, to his credit, they're number 6 in the country for a reason, because they have a lot of players coming back. Koyumjin's free throw, is it going to stay? It was made, but I believe there's a lane violation, so that free throw will not count for Koyumjin, who has 4 points now. But Tufts leads by 11, 59-48. 10:38 to play, getting close to the midway point of the second half. Koyumjin trying to get another steal. That time Etienne was wise to it and fed Crespo. Now on right wing for Farrell. Crespo can't get past Koyumjin. Off-balance feed knocked away by Pace, stolen by Rogers. The outlet to Koyumjin. Justin Dry's left lane. Dishes behind him to Pace, who lost it. Gets it back off the glass. Trickles off. Rogers the follow. And Rogers is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. So we'll get that loaded up for you, as Rogers from Boxborough, Massachusetts, working hard. 6'8" freshman. And Tufts trying to get their transition game in order. Koyumjin to Pace, and then Rogers able to stay with it, outmuscle the smaller players around him for Webster and get the basket, or actually get a chance to go to the free throw line. Rogers now with 5 points. 10:16 left in the second half, so still a lot of time for Webster to come back, but free throw is good for Rogers, and Tufts intent on slowly but surely pulling away, leading by 13 now, 61-48. And that matches the biggest lead that Tufts has had. Crespo's off-balance jumper won't go without much rebounding help. Farrell was trying to get the offensive rebound, but he may have got called for a nudge inside, and he's calling for the foul. So one thing about Christian Crespo, he's a very talented scorer. He had 9 points off the bench in the first half, but I imagine Chris Bunch is going to tell him when to take those shots and not early in the shot clock without any rebounding help. Webster now 2-3 with his own defensively. Rogers spinning, trying to score over Wilcox, won't go. Gets his own rebound. High off the glass and good. Luke Rogers going to work now. He did not score at all in the first half, but he has 8 second-half points. As Tufts leads by 15, the biggest lead for the Jumbos in the game. Etienne, nice curling move around his defender, but the shot misses. Morris did a good job of avoiding a foul there. Etienne missed the shot, and eventually Tufts will have it to inbound. 9:29 left in the second half. Tufts leads 63-48. Biggest lead now for the Jumbos, and for either team in this case, as Webster had an 18-17 lead in the first half about midway through. Had the game tied at 20, and from there, Tufts has led the game throughout the rest. After that 20-20 tie, it's been all Tufts as far as holding a lead is concerned. Koyunjin tried to lob it for a dunk attempt, but it's short on the lob. Taken by Wilcox. Knocked away from Farrell by Morris nicely. Back out front for Johnson. Johnson crossover to his right in traffic. The off-balance jumper, no. And a rebound for Vincent Pace. Then he tried to go behind the back and does for the moment. Finds Rogers again, roaming free under the basket, and Rogers scores again. He now has 10 second-half points and a timeout for Chris Bunch for Webster. And while we take a look at that timeout, we're going to take a look at Luke Rogers again, because Luke has had quite a second half. Sequence begins in the backcourt. Pace did a good job of not taking the shot there. He knows that Rogers got the hot hand, and Rogers was not covered underneath the basket. As a transition defense a little bit loose for Webster, and Rogers roaming under the basket, and the big guy has 10 second-half points. And Tufts has its biggest lead of the game now at 17 points at 65-48. So Chris Bunch calling a timeout to see if he can gather his troops together and gather some efforts and try to get back in this game. But Tufts, again, the number 6 ranking for a reason in the D3Hoops.com poll, as they have done quite well. They have kept their poise. Webster's, especially in the first half, made several runs at them. Webster stayed close, trying to hound and try to maybe either rattle the Jumbos, but Tufts has too many veterans back for that to happen. And so with that, Tufts able to slowly pull away. They had a 10-point lead at halftime. The Jumbos have inched that lead now to 17 at 65-48. And one of the reasons why Tufts has shot so well, Bob Sheldon was very wise in hiring Derek Ritos, the all-time leading three-point shooter for Brandeis University, and a guy that was a pain in WashU's rear end in UAA play in the past. Here's a lob there that Farrell tried to save, couldn't. The ball scooped up instead by Johnson, and Johnson was fouled. He dished inside to Farrell. There's no basket, the foul before the basket. So just when he thought the Jumbos were going to get a rebound there and they head up the floor, Johnson able to get a steal, and he draws a foul against Brennan Morris. That's his second. I believe it's his second. They got one foul, so maybe it's Morris's first foul. But Ritos, great three-point shooter, and he has applied his knowledge to the Tufts Jumbos with very good results, especially here in tonight's game. The runner, the feed, Farrell to Etienne. Etienne missed his first shot. His follow-up too strong, but he stayed with it and drew a foul. And on that foul, looks like Etienne will go to the free throw line. So Derek Ritos, 231 career threes at Brandeis when he was there. That's first on the career list for Ritos. 45% career three-point shooting at second all-time at Brandeis. Free throw here is up and good for Etienne. That's 5 points for Rodson here. So you ask, well, how has the Ritos knowledge been parlayed? Well, tonight Eric Savage has 5 trays. Lapham has 2. That's 7. Koyumjian has 1. That's 8 total. Pace has 1, 3. That's 9. And that's what Pace averaged last season, 9 trays per game. And they're right there tonight. Second free throw for Etienne is good. He now has 6 points. And the lead for Tufts is down to 15. And, well, Webster getting a good defensive stop there. Dunn was able to start it with a steal. He finishes with the putback. Michael Dunn got the steal to start and then crashed the boards on the offensive glass and gets his second basket. So now Tufts leads by 13. In the corner, Morris. Double team converges quickly out of the 2-3 zone. Racy, a good outlet or a good kick out now for Lapham's 3. It's up and good. Thomas Lapham now with 3 trays on the evening. He has 9 points, all from beyond the arc. And Tufts has a 16-point lead at 68-52 over Webster with 7:48 to play in the second half. Still time for the Gorlocks to make a comeback, see if they can get their 3-point shooting defense tightened down a bit and try to get some points on the offensive end. Johnson, Farrell, now to Etienne, left lane, and the ball rattles out on his slide down the lane, but he'll be fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line, and with the clock stopped, Webster can score some points. So perhaps in this manner, the Gorlocks can make a comeback because I look at the scoreboard and Tufts has 18 fouls now. So Webster's in the bonus for the rest of the half. And if the Gorlocks can get some stops and go to the free throw line, they could try to crawl back into this. Etienne, free throw, rattles off at the 1-and-1, but Walcock saves it with the rebound. So Webster still has a chance here. Baseline jumper for Johnson, just off the mark, a little bit short. Racy with the rebound. Koyumjian with a burst of speed getting past Dunn. A kick out 3 for Lapham. This one's off the back iron. But a fight for the rebound is won by Adigwe. So Tufts still has it. Now Koyumjian wants a 3 from the wing. That's also long off the iron. And Farrell collects the rebound, a couple of bounces. Brings it across. Tufts was back to stop a fast break. Johnson probing for a crossover, gets a screen from Wilcox. Pick and roll not available. Farrell penetrates, creates, and does he draw a foul or is it an offensive foul? Well, let's see what. If you're a Webster fan, you're walking the wrong way as you're watching here on the WashU Sports Network. Farrell's called for his 4th foul as he trying to make things happen, try to light a spark here for Webster. Down by 16, but he's called for the charge. So 6:50 to go in the second half, and Tufts, Adigwe, the great feed to him on the left block. He cashes that one in. Good assist there by Racy. Adigwe now with 6 points. And Tufts leads by 18, so we can call off the upset alert. I think it's been called off for quite a while now, but Webster, give them the credit. They have tried to be as competitive as possible. As Wilcox with a hook in the lane from about 5 feet away. He now has 7 points. So a lot of positives for Webster out of this game tonight. The feed to Racy, the layup rolls around and it falls in. Good assist by Koyumjian. Racy with 4 points now, and the lead for the Tufts Jumbos 18 now with 6:10 to play in the second half. Santolian now back in the game for Webster. His first appearance of the second half. He's setting up in the right corner on the far side. Johnson drawing a double team shadow to Dunn. Wilcox drives past Racy, but then lost the handle and out of bounds. Good effort by Nigel. He was able to take a first step past Racy, who didn't think he had that little bit of explosiveness. But Nigel just couldn't keep the ball with him as he went out of bounds, and the ball went out of bounds as well. Turnover for Webster, but again, Webster will have a lot of positives to build on, and Chris Bunch, I think, even though his team is down by 18 now at 72-54, he's got to be thinking, you know what, I got a talented group of freshmen here that didn't have the deer in the headlights look tonight. Bowser down the lane, a nice dish, the no-look feed, the layup by Savage. He was trapped under the basket, bad angle, missed the layup. A little bit of contact, but not called. Santolian now, pull-up jumper, left elbow is good. Marvin Santolian, his first points from North Miami, Florida. One of the 11 freshmen. Webster in a 2-3 zone. It's been their staple defense tonight. Bowser, great up and under, but couldn't finish, a little too strong. Savage get the rebound. Free throw line jumper on the way. That's long as well. And Johnson gets the rebound for Webster. They try to push quickly now with Santolian. Lost the handle, getting it back, double teamed. able to feed Johnson. Johnson hesitation dribble, tied up. Great steal by Lapham of Tufts. Over to Bowser. Bowser going to finish off the sequence. A corner feed for Adigwe. Adigwe into the lane quickly and is up and under move. No good, but he's fouled inside, and so it'll be opportunity for Kenny Adigwe to add to his 6-point total as the foul will be against Michael Dunn. That's his third. So Adigwe now will go to the free throw line. A senior from Lowell, Massachusetts. Free throw up and good. So Kenny has 7 points now. Digway played in 11 games last year, no starts. Averaged 2 points a game, 2.1 to be precise. But he'll be called upon for more minutes for sure, and he has performed pretty well. Free throw rattles in for him. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He has 8 points all told. And the Jumbos now lead by 18 again at 74-56. Johnson try to cross over. Bowser a little taller, able to move his feet as well. The feed inside, tapped away. Bowser gets the loose ball, scoops to Lapham, and the shot blocked inside by Dunn. Johnson tight ropes the baseline nicely, and a blind feed to Santolian. Now Macias trying to finish on the other end, and it trickles in and count the basket. We'll take a look at that as Webster able to get a circus save on one end and then get a layup on the other end. And I don't know if we got that saved or not. Yeah, let's go ahead and play that while we have a moment. And then the sequence begins. Watch the circus save. Timeout on the floor. Take another look at it here as Johnson made a circus save on the baseline and blindly at that to start it. And then comes the other way. And Macias able to get a basket. So Webster, you showed they still got a fight in them. As Macias got the basket there, and it's his third and fourth points of the evening. So that's also a good sign for Chris Bunch, the head coach of Webster. He's got a team that won't back down after seeing them, seeing their deficit grow to 18 points. Doesn't matter. Webster's still fighting in every possession. They were able to take that circus save and cash it in for a couple of points, and I think that might be something that Chris Bunch can build with, as these young Gorlocks will try to find what their roles are going to be. 11 freshmen on the team. So Chris Bunch it's been a fun task for him, but it's going to be challenging to see how his rotation will be set up to optimum effect in time before the SLEAC season begins. And in SLEAC competition, in the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, conference games come more quickly, or a little sooner, I should say, than some of the other teams in other conferences. But a lot of good things I'm seeing from Webster tonight, so if they can keep these 11 freshmen on board for the next 3 or 4 years, as Macias misses a free throw there. So, again, if Chris Bunch can keep the freshmen together, if they can keep growing from year to year in talent, tell you what, this Webster team could be very, very dangerous. Save attempt for Racy goes in the hands of Michael Dunn of Webster. Johnson in transition, steps into a three, but it's short. An air ball, and it's retrieved by Tufts' Mandy Anderson, who's checked in from Franklin, New Jersey as a sophomore. And Racy finishes on a feed from Anderson. Racy gets the basket. He now has 6 points. Left open for a three is Johnson. That's too long. Off the top of the backboard. The ball ricochets up and ends up in the hands of Lapham. Lapham being nudged by Macias on a touch. No foul there. Savage, left block, reverse layup is good. A sweet move by Eric Savage. He now has 27 points on the evening. 78-58. The lead is now 20 for Tufts. And what a memorable night for Eric Savage, a sophomore guard from South Brunswick, New Jersey. 27 points. And dunking a three is Michael Dunn. Again, Webster still fighting for points, and Dunn left open. He says, well, I'll go ahead and take advantage of that. He has 7 points now. 78-61. Tufts leads by 17. 2:51 left in the second half. Lapham spins on the dribble. Bowser attacks the left lane off the glass, and they're going to count the basket. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Bowser able to drive and get a basket in one. That's Bowser's second basket. And we'll go ahead and play it here. Bowser's got a little bit of time in each half and able to get a nice hesitation move there. Thought about the pull-up jumper. Instead, it went to the basket and drew the foul. Made the basket, gets a free throw. So Bowser, who is a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina, will have another free throw. It's good. That's the only free throw on this trip, a three-point play. Bowser with 5 points all in the second half. So the Tufts Jumbos leads 81-61 with 2:46 to play. Tufts has played well tonight, and they got a chance to see that, Webster wasn't going to go away after the first couple of haymakers landed on the jaw. Webster just shrugged it off and said, let's play some more. Let's have some more of that. We're not afraid. But Tufts, likewise, has performed well. They kept their poise, and they, again, slowly but surely have a lead now, which is at 20 points at 81-61. Wilcox, left elbow jumper rattles off. A follow-up jam attempt is off the rim by Farrell. Farrell's got some pretty good hops. He's 6 foot, a sophomore guard, but he just about had a follow-up jam in midair. Vincent Pace will back it out at center circle with 2:09 left, 16 on the shot clock. Tufts with a 20-point lead. Pace says, let's be a little bit more deliberate here. No need to rush things. Great feed to Bowser. Layup is good. Let's get a look at that while we have Webster go up and down the floor there, as Bowser able to finish now with 7 points. Pace with a great feed there. As we'll take a look at it in a moment here as Santolian misses. It'll be Tufts with the rebound, and again, we're experimenting here with instant replay for basketball. Great feed to Bowser to finish that. Now Oppenheim has it blocked from behind. Great strip by Wilcox. 3-on-1 from midcourt. Macias, hop step, triple jump, layup good. Looked like he was doing the triple jump there for a second. Thought he might get called for steps, but Macias timed his dribble just right. Looked like a hop, skip, and a jump to the basket. He now has 6 points and a timeout call with 1:13 to go in the second half, and Tufts leads 83-63. Timeout call just to get some players off the bench and in the game. So both teams, many positives to build upon after this first game of the season for both. And people were wondering, I was wondering who was going to fill the shoes of Tariq Smith, who did a little bit of everything last year for Tufts. Well, as far as scoring is concerned, if Eric Savage continues this pace, or at least comes close to it, he has 27 points tonight. I think Tufts will be thinking, well, we'll just shift some of the point scoring responsibilities to other players, but I think we'll be okay. Bowser trying to add to his 7-point total all in the second half. Instead dishes. Free throw line jumper off the mark, no good. And a rebound collected by Nathan Hall, who's checked in from Greenville, Tennessee for Webster, a freshman guard. That was off the miss from Manny Anderson. Wilcox, jump stop in the lane, left it short. Oppenheim gets the rebound for the Jumbos as we have 36 seconds to play in this first game of the Lopata Classic. We have one more game to come tonight in first round play, but it's been a fun way to start our basketball broadcast season here on the WashU Sports Network. Big block there by Wilcox with 23 seconds left. Shot clock off to finish off the game. Under the basket, pump fake. Farrell a corner three on the way. Good. Blake Farrell gets his first 3 points of the game from beyond the arc from a deep corner three with 12 seconds to play. Last possession perhaps here for Tufts. Bowser misses a shot off the backboard. Wilcox 2-on-3 with 4 seconds with 3. And Nigel with the right arm, and the right-handed shot is good. It rattles in with 7/10 of a second left. And so it'll be a basket for Wilcox. He has 9 points, 7 in the second half. And the inbound made by Tufts, and the Tufts Jumbos will win this one, 83-68 over Webster. So both teams with some good highlights there and some good teaching points that have emerged that will hold them in good stead. As Tufts scores 39 points in the second half, Webster scored 34. So Webster scored 34 points in each half. And Tufts wins 83-68 as a result. So for Tufts, 22-7 last season. Got all the way to the Sweet 16 and lost to eventual champion Babson by 7 points. The Jumbos bringing back enough players as far as their leading scorers, they bring back 5 of their top 7, including the leading scorer, Vincent Pace, from last year. So there's enough veteran experience coming back that the Jumbos think that they can make another deep run to the tournament, perhaps even a couple of steps further. We'll see how it all ends up at season's end, but the Tufts Jumbos were challenged early by Webster. As Webster hung tough, they were down 14-12 at one point. Actually, Webster had a 1-point lead at 18-17. Webster had tied the game at 20. But even when Tufts took the lead for good after that, Webster still was able to stay close, down 27-20 at one point. They came back to cut the lead down to 28-22. And then Webster pulled away a little bit toward the end of the first half to build a 10-point lead at 44-34. And Webster could not get any closer than that the rest of the way. They got within 8 to start the second half, but Webster just could not get any closer as the Tufts Jumbos, again with veterans coming back, that were able to keep that door shut on a comeback that was wished for by Webster, but not consummated, as Tufts able to lock down the door and keep Webster at bay the rest of the way as Tufts wins 83-68. As Tufts had the lead at one point of 20 points several times. And so with that, Tufts wins at 83-68 tonight over Webster. And again, Webster had some very good moments along the way. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Let's bring up our statistics. At game's end, some of the stats we'll bring to you. As far as the team stats are concerned, both teams shot the ball just about 43%. Webster at 43.8%, Tufts at 42.9%. Tufts had 2 more made baskets overall. Also, Tufts had 2 more trays, as Tufts was 10 for 26 beyond the arc, 38.5%. Webster 8 of 15 for 53%. So Webster did a pretty good job beyond the arc, well, more than pretty good. The outstanding percentage at 53%. And the made number of threes, 8 is good as well, but Tufts just a little bit better, making 10 trays tonight. As far as free throws, Tufts had a 9-point advantage, 13-4 in made free throws. Webster 4 for 9 from the free throw line. Tufts 13 of 16 for 81%. Rebounds, a slight edge to Tufts, and again, it's another good sign for Chris Bunch, as his smaller Webster player is able to stay close to Tufts in the rebounding category. Tufts had 42 rebounds, Webster 40. And on the offensive glass, Tufts had 11 rebounds offensively, Webster 9. So that's another positive showing for the Gorlocks in a defeat tonight. Webster turned the ball over 20 times. Tufts had 17 turnovers. And so those are some of the team stats. Also among the team stats, we mentioned Tufts trying to avoid a lot of fouls, and Tufts had 16 fouls for the game, so did a better job in the second half of limiting fouls. Well, in both halves they did pretty well. So that wasn't an issue. Assists, Tufts had 21 assists, and Webster had 16. Turnovers, again, Webster 20 and Tufts 17 in that category. Tufts had 10 steals and Webster had 9. So in a lot of the categories, Webster was right there with the number 6 team in the country. But in the end, it was Tufts making 2 more trays than Webster and also outscoring Webster from the